Great. All right. So thank you so much, guys, for coming on board today. So we're going to be having a wonderful time. So without wasting any further time, because our time is 8 and we're starting at 8, because we have a lot to do today. So my name is Hero Lawson. I'm going to be the one anchoring this show, anchoring this business discussion. So today is our financial Sunday school. Now, there is one thing that has changed my life is when we were growing up, the Sunday school before the church was actually very instrumental to me. Why is that? Because that is where we deal with the real issues. You know, when the pastor is talking from the altar, you don't have the ask questions and there are issues that cannot be dealt with. But when it comes to from the Sunday school, you have the opportunity to have interaction, and in those interactions were who have been attending our. Okay, so I'm going to mute every other person. Okay, so yeah. So while others are joining us, I'm just going to run the introduction while we start. So the concept is, this is the Blueprint Hub. And what we do in the Blueprint Hub, we are gathering professionals from all walks of life. We are building a platform that has over 10,000 artisans, professionals from all walks of life, where they come together to share ideas and have access to people. You know, you can have access to lawyers, you can have access to, you know, a lot of different people on the same platform. And when you know that you have a platform that helps you to facilitate what you're doing with people you can trust, so you can literally get anything you want from that platform. So we train people and we help people to become better. It is my vision to ensure that people around me are not mediocres, that they actually know what is happening. Because if you're not updated on what is going on around, you may actually be left behind. Okay, so today we're going to be having my boss, all right, my mentor and my coach. This is the man that found me in the street of Lagos, and he took me in, mentored me, guided me, and today we are friends and we are business partners. I'm so happy that we have such connection and such relationship. He has a lot of information when it comes to business. You know, most times we have role models, but we don't see them. Sometimes we have mentors, but we can't access them. But it's a privilege to know someone you know before your eyes transform and become better, become an expert, become a professional, become better than the environment he was, raised from. All right. So a lot of people are going to be joining us from all walks of life. And so far, so good. We have Kachi all the way from Birmingham. Thank you so much, Kachi, for joining. We have Austin from Abuja. We have Mr. Ibe from Umuahia. We have Hope from Enugu. We have Martha, we have Fisayo, and a lot of people are joining us from all walks of life. We have Arch. So a lot of people are going to be joining us. So this is very important to me that you pay attention to some of the information we're going to be sharing here today, because it's going to be mind changing. Let me tell you something. I was talking about something today and I asked people, I said, how many persons do you know that are wealthy? How many persons? You know, sometimes we talk about wealth, we talk about money, we talk about riches, but actually most of us are just trying to survive. We don't really know so much about wealth. How many persons do you know personally that has a private jet that you can access and call anytime, or has an airport? See, if you are not born, a statistic came out some time ago, World Bank, he said, if you are not born into a class, for you, the chances of you dying in that class is low. He said that the chances of you winning lottery is 300% chances of winning lottery than dying in a class you are not born in. So sometimes everything you know is within a circle. The only thing that can make you get access to higher information, to higher platform, is access to privileged information. And that is what we're going to be sharing here today. So we have a man I respect so much, a dealer, an academician. The way he reads, sometimes I wonder how he juggles between business and education. But he's a man that is very passionate about education. Anytime I see him, I learn something from him, because wow, he's always willing to share. He's always willing to share. So with all due respect, I'm going to be welcoming him on board because he has a lot to cover today. So as he's going through this, other people are going to be joining us. Please, if you have a question, know where to drop the question, because we're going to be attending to some of these questions. All right. I'm going to be welcoming our facilitator today in the person of Mr. Greg Oji. He is the dealer and CEO of Peer Transform. And also he runs some tech companies, some startup tech companies. You know, for you to start evolving, most of the people you know that are not relevant today, they did not evolve, but this guy has been evolving. So with all due respect, I want us to go to the chat box and give him some good emojis and give a clap, just a clap emoji. Go there, put him up here and write some wonderful thing about this young man, because some of you know him, some of you don't know him. Mr. Greg, are you ready for us?
Yeah, Hero. Yeah, hi. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, and I'm excited to be here. By the way, Hero. When I heard about the topic, I was like, which one is Financial Sunday School again? That's a good one, Hero. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. So carry on, sir. Mr. Greg is going to be running through. But Mr. Greg, just tell us a little about yourself for the benefit of those who are not aware of your background, and we can carry on from there.
Okay. Thank you again, Hero. First of all, I want to say thank you, Hero, for inviting me here. Thank you so much. My name is Greg Oji, or Chimezirim Akanu Oji, and first of all, I would say that I'm a salad master dealer. That is the #1 business that I do. That is the mothership. And I also have interests in a startup called iShopper, and then the other one is called Classing, 2 different startups. So that's really what I do. And then I have interest in studying. I love to read. I love to go to, I was just wondering the other day, I was like, which is the next course I should jump on? I think I want to go, just like what you have just said, I want to go and get a degree or a certificate on finance. Because now I need to now get to where I'll be able to be called upon joining different board of trustees, so that when they use the languages in there, you are able to understand what is going on. So yeah, I love to read, I love to study. And through that path, I have studied history, I have done diploma in law, I also did international relations and political science. I have also just concluded an MBA at the Lagos Business School, and a few other certificates that I've also gotten. So generally, I love to read. Even when I'm working, I also love to study to upgrade myself as well. I hope that makes it clear, Hero. Unless you want me to say every other thing, but I think that is good enough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how do you really combine running a business of this magnitude you are running and also reading? How do you combine it? Because all I know, when I came from here, from there you moved to Lagos Business School. How do you manage to juggle all of this together without breaking down, sir?
So basically, it's all about structures. So I would say that any business that if you want to run a business that is sustainable, you need to create a structure to enable the business to run. In fact, that should be the dream of every entrepreneur. How can I create this business and make this business to stand on its own and depend less on me? It doesn't mean that the business can work without you at the early stage, but how can you create a structure? And when you create systems and structures, it makes it easier for you to pursue other things, because the more knowledge you get, the likelihood of you getting even more prosperous or getting more successful. So the whole idea is create a structure, and when the structure is solid, you can jump and do whatever thing you want to do. That's what I would say.
Wow, awesome. So how long have you been in business? And what actually drove you to, I know you went to school, you graduated. I don't think you have actually worked for any corporate organization before, or have you?
No. I've not worked for any corporate organization. By the way, I don't know if I should take that as a plus or a minus. Sometimes I do wish that I do wish that I worked for a corporate organization before starting up my own business. In fact, I even said to my staff some time ago that I was going to get a job, just pretend, and then sit through the interview, see how it feels like to be interviewed, and then work for someone for maybe 6 months just to understand and to know how staff feel when you treat them in certain ways. So I would say that my business journey started a long time ago. I think I'll give that credit to my mom. As a young person, as young as maybe 7, 8, 9, 10, my mom already started pushing us out there. Not because we're in need of that money, but she just wanted everybody to be independent, to have that that desire to be independent, to make some money, to understand the value of money. My dad never really used to like that as we were pretty young. But at the time, when I became, obviously after that, I joined my daddy's business as well in Aba. Then we were selling shoes. And yeah, basically those are just the experiences. And I can say that that's really created the foundation for me. That obviously contributed to my business journey. That laid the foundation as a salesperson. But then I would say my business journey started as a result of hunger. Consciously, apart from working for my dad or selling stuffs like my mom made me do, I would say that my own business journey started as out of hunger, which is what I would really discourage anybody else. Now, I would say don't start a business because you are hungry. You should start a business because you want to make an impact or you want to make a profit. Because when you start a business because you're hungry, when you eat, after eating, you tend to relax, and then you become a mediocre. You get to enjoy the profits that are coming from that business. So I would say my business journey started at officially in Salad Master. Obviously, like I said, I started some businesses, a lot of them. Some of them were successful, some of them failed. Okay. So, but I would say that I started those ones, and I was doing that because I was just trying to survive. The objective of that business was not to be prosperous, was not to make impact, was not to make profits. The objective of those small other businesses were just to survive. So basically, because it is based on survival, I won't say that was when I started business. I would rather say that I started business when I realized that business is all about impact. And that was just when I was already in Salad Master, maybe around about 2019, 2018. That's when I would say that I started business officially. And why am I saying that? Because I will link that together with a course I did when I was in Daystar Leadership Academy. I think that's what they call it. I went for that course, and when I came back, Pastor Sam Adeyemi and a few other facilitators, that obviously changed. Even though people tend to look down on that course, but after taking that course, my own perception, my own understanding of business began to change. So I would say that I started business officially at that rate. Some of you who work with me may not understand what I'm saying. You may think that Greg is just trying to woo us. No, that's not the case. So I would say that when that impact thing started, that's when I started business.
Wow. Wow. So if you are to advise a younger version of yourself that wants to go into business, but I know there are a lot of people here who are actually at the verge, trying to figure out what they want to do with their life. So if you are to advise a younger version of yourself, what would be the advice you'd be given to starting?
Well, a few things, right? A few things. Like I said earlier, don't start a business because you are hungry. Okay? If you start a business because you are hungry, when you solve that problem, it becomes, the hunger is over, right?
Yeah, but how do you deal with that? How do you deal with that? How do you deal with that, given that we live in an environment where there's a lot of needs around us and everybody's trying to make ends meet? Survival is actually the end thing. How do you translate to that point where you don't think about the hunger, even though you are hungry? How do you manage to do that?
Well, like I said, so what I would say is, first of all, if I were to start again now, just like you said, a younger person, what will I say? I would say that, listen, I will call 2 or 3 of my friends who have the same objective, people who have same goal as myself, and then I will create like one of the key responsibilities of an entrepreneur is to be able to talk, to express yourself, to explain what you want, to be able to lead people, right? So I will call a few of my friends, even myself, I can even start alone, right? And then sit down and then identify my objective. What are the objectives? What are the goals that I need to achieve? What are the goals that I need to achieve if I should start a business? And then when I'm inviting those people, I will look for people that have some skills that I do not have. If I have technical skills, I'll probably get some friends who do not have technical skills, but who have more, more sales skills, other ways, persuasive skills. These are other things, look inwards and then aggregate all of those put together. I'm not talking about hiring people really. I'm not saying, use my money to buy or hire people. No. That's not what I'm talking about. If I were to start a good business now, I'm not going to start out of hunger. I'm going to start because of what? An objective. So what I now mean is this. The difference between an entrepreneur and a business person is an entrepreneur makes profit, obviously. A business person also makes profits. An entrepreneur makes an impact. A business person also makes an impact, because if you don't make impact, people won't pay you. But I would recommend to anyone who wants to start a business, focus on impact first, because an entrepreneur focuses on impact. And when you focus on impact, profit obviously comes in. So if I am to start a new business now, first of all, what I will do is to create an objective. And that objective is going to be based on an impact that I intend to make. What solution am I bringing to the society so that they can pay me for it? And then I'll bring my friends who are emotionally vested, or people that are close to me, people that think alike, but have similar or different skills, and then bring them together and then start something that is very significant. That is the very first step I will take. Okay, so here, my objective is to solve a problem. My objective is not to cure hunger. If I want to cure hunger, like you said, how do you manage that? I will go into sales, acquire one skill, get one or two things done, and then I'm just surviving based on that. But if I want to start a proper business that's going to have a long-term impact, I need to sit down, create an objective, and then pursue that objective. In that case, the objective is not to solve the hunger problem. If I want to solve hunger, I did that when I was young. During my open house meetings, I tell my consultants, listen, I have sold sanitary pads. I have sold malts and minerals. All of those things, I was doing all that. I'm not ashamed of that at all. I did all of that to cure hunger. That is different. But if you want to start, if you want to start a business, you have to create an objective. That is number one thing, okay? An objective. And then that objective must be to create an impact, because impact-driven businesses are the businesses that are surviving today. If it is a profit-driven business, it won't even go far at all. So a business person, that's why many people in the market out there, they are just focused on profit. And when they make profit, let's say you are selling shirts, for example, the primary thing you are doing is just to sell shirts, and then you are good, right? You make profit, you build a house, you take care of your children. There is no impact. You don't have a long-term goal. What am I bringing to the society? And that simple impact, or that objective you have created, which is to make an impact, that is what will keep the business to last for a long time. All right? That is number one thing I will do. Number two is to have a minimum viable product. All right? Minimum viable product. This impact that I intend to create, what are the things that I need to do to get it? The simplest form of it. Sometimes some of us have big dreams, very mighty big dreams. But when it comes to putting it into action or bringing it into reality, it becomes, a very big problem, right? You need to be able to create that dream and then bring it to the smallest unit of it. That's the minimum viable, the smallest unit of it, the one that you can easily give to people out there, and then people can test it out. All right. No matter how big your dream is, look at it. For instance, the wall of China was built for how many years? 2,500 years. That was what it took them to build the Great Wall of China. Wow. All right. Wow. So some of us, no matter how big your dream is, you need to be able to say, okay, which one is the smallest part of this dream that I can send out there? What is the smallest part of this business that I want to create that people can start using immediately before that large one? And then as your business grows, again, Hero, before I hand back to you, as your business grows, the next thing you should also understand is, what are the conditions that must be in place for me to achieve this my goal? And then when you create that, you need to now be able to say, okay, at what stage do I need to pivot? At what stage do I need to change? For example, for some of you that know that I started an e-commerce called Klassen. And, we pushed it into the market. We tried to test run the market. We did the minimum viable product just to create the smallest part of it. And then we realized that there is even a feature on that e-commerce platform that people tend to like so much. We decided to differentiate that particular feature out of the bigger one, which is the iShopper. And what it is that we now have more people subscribing for the iShopper, even more than the class. So that's really what I'm saying. So as a business person, as a young person who wants to start a business, number one, focus on making an impact. Okay. Number two, create the smallest unit of that business you want to create. And then number three, be willing to adapt to changes. Be willing to, because sometimes you can have a big dream today. The way you are thinking about the dream, you're reminiscing, you are dreaming about it every single day, you talk about it. But by the time you start implementation, some things may have changed. So you should also be able to change when things are changing. All right. One of the books I always give to any of my people is a book called
The Cheese Has Moved.
Who Moved My Cheese? Yes. Who Moved My Cheese? Very simple, very small little book, but okay, usually I gave it to you too, right? You read that book, right? The book has lots and lots and lots of lessons in there. So be willing to change with the time. Back to you.
Wow. Guys, I hope you are taking notes because this is a masterclass. Okay, so Mr. Greg, now I know you studied history.
Yeah.
Now, is there a way that course you studied in school is affecting what you're doing currently? If you have your way, would you have scrapped it out from your life entirely?
Absolutely. If I had my way, I would go and do engineering. Knowing what I know now, I'm either going to do accounting or engineering. Those two courses. That's what I would have done. All right. Honestly, I would have done accounting or engineering, being that I know that I was going to go into business. But doing history, honestly, no knowledge is a waste, right? It still has an impact. Obviously, it gives me that capacity to tell stories when I'm in a meeting with people, when I'm trying to convince my consultants, my staff. I need to be able to tell history, tell stories, being able to tell stories, right? So that's really obviously created a lot of foundation. But if I have my way, honestly, I wouldn't have actually gone for history. I'm not regretting for doing the course, but if you were to turn back the hands of time, which obviously we know we cannot do, I would probably go for accounting or probably go for engineering. For what reason? Those technical skills that the world needs today, those technical skills are needed in your business today. They're needed in your life today. They're needed in everything that you do. Am I a failure as someone that studied history? Absolutely not. I am not at all. If anything, I am amongst the first 10% you can count. In my department, in my class, right? Not bragging about it, but just for you to know that. In fact, maybe the first 5, if I am being humble. Okay, so I do not regret studying history for one bit. No, I do not. But then, am I using it for everyday to-day activities that I'm doing that I have today? Even in my business, the answer is no. It is not the most important skill that I use in my business.
Wow, awesome, great. Okay, so Greg, there are some concepts I've heard you mention over time in business, and I know that I think you may probably be the first person I've heard that from. All right, so I wanted to use this opportunity to express some of these concepts. I think you are someone that is always in tune with principles. And when you embrace a principle, you work with it. I've worked with you for some years and I've seen how you have run a great ship. And I know to manage people is not easy. But one of the concepts you always talk about is the law of average. The law of average. Now, when somebody starts a business and somebody wants to do a business, so advising people who on this platform who want to go into business, what has the law of average helped you to achieve? And how can you explain it to a layman's common language so that I can grab it? That's one of the concepts. Now, we have other concepts here you have also mentioned, but I want you to start with that. The law of average.
The law of averages is basically simple, all right? It simply states that the likelihood of certain events evens out when the frequency is increased. The likelihood of certain events evens out when the frequency is increased. And honestly speaking, while I was a salad master dealer, I remember vividly, it's a business of numbers. And anyone, if you want to start a business, there's no two ways about it. You must understand your numbers. All right. I don't know how else to explain that, but listen, you must understand your numbers. You must be able to assess every single thing in your business numerically. Of course, it's good for you to have qualitative analysis as well, but quantitative analysis is very important in any form of business you intend to do. You must be able to attach a number to some things, all right? To almost everything, really. I mean, some things obviously you need to use qualitative and qualitatively, you need to analyze them in terms of qualitative analysis, but more importantly, you need numbers. So the law of averages simply means that when you do some certain things frequently, the likelihood of you becoming successful is increased. As a salesperson, when I speak to 5 people, if I want to get 2 sales, when I speak to 5 people, it is possible that I may not get the 2 sales. But there is no way that I will speak to 20 people that I will not get those 2 sales. All right. Sometimes it may be different in other businesses. Whatever I'm doing that is working now, how can I do more of it to get even better results? Am I going to fail? Yes, that will be failure. That is one thing you need to also know. I think I even wrote that in my note as well. Failure is a necessity. Don't even be afraid of failure. So the law of averages simply means, on the average, if I fail 5 times, how many success stories will I have? Look at most businesses in the world. Amazon, I realize that sometimes they waste money on sometimes 1,000 products, 1,000 projects, billions gone. But guess what? If one of them hits, everybody becomes successful out of it. That's really what a lot of value is for. So do not be scared of failing. Do not be scared of saying, oh, I'm just going to focus on this thing I'm doing today. I'm just going to protect these ones that I have. No. The law of averages says that spread yourself. I'm not saying leave what you are doing right now to go do something else. No, but we are saying if you have to do something, do it consistently, multiple times, try different things. And then you will eventually see the one that will work effectively. I have tried, like I said, mineral and malt, maybe, Lady Google sanitary pad. I have done importation. I've done many things, right? But the truth is, even till tomorrow, like I'm pursuing this goal now, nobody knows. Let me tell you the truth. No one has it all figured out. No one has it all figured. Look at Nigeria, for instance. How many businesses have gone? Do you know the number of businesses that have died today? And then your business is still standing there. You should be proud of yourself. Even people from Deloitte, people from Ernst & Young, they've tried to understand how the Nigerian economy works. Some of them are not able to forecast properly. But you are there, you are hustling hard, you are doing what you are doing, your business is standing there. You should be proud of yourself. So the law of averages just states that if you look at those things, look at your chances. If you have 3 chances of getting 1 result, why not do 6 and get 2? And the truth is, the more you do it, instead of doing 9 to get 3, you may realize that you are doing 9 to get 5. That is really what the law of averages states. The simple way of explaining it is the likelihood of certain events, the chances of getting good results increases when you also increase the activities. So the likelihood of certain event increases when the activities are increased. Hero.
Wow. So does this apply to everything like relationship, when you try to maybe get people into your business, employing salespeople or hiring people to work for you, and also idea generation? Now, some people try some ideas, it doesn't work, it didn't work out as they planned, and they jettison it. So does this law of average apply to someone who wants to go into business, but the business is not working? Are you advising the person to try another thing until they figure something out? Is it also applicable in that way?
Well, if you look at it carefully, you see that sometimes when people say business don't work, that business is working for somebody else. It's just that you do not have the skill to make the business work. All right. There's what they call the error of margin of error. So in my business, my error of margin I know is 10. Out of 10 people that I speak to, one of them will give me money. And that is my own error of margin, right? Which is absolutely too wide. My responsibility is to say, how can I bring it to 5? How can I bring it to 3? So that after each 3 people that I do presentations for, one of them would buy. Unfortunately, the Nigerian economy does not give me that. Now, imagine where you go to the hospital and then they will tell you that out of 10 people they do surgery to, 9 of them will die, only 1 will survive. will you go to that hospital? Absolutely no, because hospitals and some some fields like medicine, physicists, pilots, their error of margin is very low. Pilots, for example, it has to be, they call it 6 sigma, which is 99.999, 9 into 6. That is the only margin of error an aeroplane can have before they fly. So they must be sure that it is near 100% that this aeroplane cannot crash. That is the only time they will fly. So let me now bring it down to other businesses. There are businesses that does not allow you to make that number of error. That is where you need to analyze very well and understand the business. First of all, if you want to do a business and then you are scared, do not be scared. Fear comes from not knowing. Like I said, nobody has it all figured out. Fear comes from not knowing. All you need to do is understand yourself, understand your business, understand your customer, understand the industry where you are going into. If you understand these 4 things, then everything becomes easy for you. Like I said, numbers. You need to understand where are my customers? What do they do? There are lots of, I don't know if I'm allowed to go into all of that analysis. So by the time you understand that, you then realize that, okay, there are certain things you need to put in place to satisfy this customer. And businesses today have gone above satisfying customer. If you're going into business and then you're going into business to satisfy your customer, your business is not going to last for so long. If you're going into business, you must go into business to delight your customer. It's called customer delighter. Your customer must be going out of your business. They are not just satisfied, they are excited about whatever service you have rendered. If your customers are not excited, they are going to somewhere else tomorrow. So every single day, you must ask yourself, how can I excite my customers? So if you are in the business to excite customers, you won't even have any problem. You won't have any fear of going into any business. So it is all about delighting your customers. And then what does a delighter mean? When you say you want to delight a customer, what does it really mean? I was giving some of my consultants this same training on Monday. Delighting a customer means I am giving a customer some features, some services that even if the customer does not have those services, they will not complain. I mean, it's all about innovation. The customer have paid for me to, let's say I'm a transporter, for example, I move people's goods from one place to the other. If I move that customer's goods, I'm GIG. I move it from Abuja to Lagos on time. The customer is satisfied. Then the question is, what else can I do to delight this customer? This customer will not complain about anything else. Now, if I now package that customer and then wrap it with GIG, put a balloon into it, when the customer opens the package and then the balloon pops out. Wow. Have a good day, madam. That is, the customer will be like, wow, this guy. Listen, if that balloon is not there, the customer will not complain. All right. And then the good thing about being a delighter is you must always innovate every single day to say, what else can I do to delight my customer? So anybody going into the business, do not go into the business to satisfy your customer. Please go into the business to delight your customer, to excite the customer. That's what I would say, Hero. Back to you.
Wow. Man, even if we're going to shut down this event this night like this, I think we've gotten a lot. So you are saying that a customer can be satisfied, but when you get that extra, that a customer is not even bothered about, that's delighting the customer.
That's delighting the customer, yeah. And that's how innovation comes. Let me give you another example. Remember, there was a time when if you go and buy television, for example, you buy the television, what do you want the television to do? They will, if you put on your channels, television, let it be able to work. Plug your DSTV, let it be able to work. Sometimes you started demanding for what's it called now? The cable, right? HDMI, right? Now, if they give you a television, there was a time when remote control, when you use a remote control, before, when I was growing up, you have to go and you hit the television, right? For it to start, you need to go there and then, put it on, tune it up to see whether you can get your station. And then the innovation kept coming on, where you can sit down and then give you the remote control. They give you a remote control, they can control your television, right? Now, Hero, if they sell a television to you today, without a remote control, will you be satisfied?
No.
Because you have to go and stand up anytime to go. Yeah. You understand? Now, no problem. But so that is dissatisfaction. Now, what if they now produce that television and they give you the remote control as well? You are happy, right? You do not have the TV is doing everything you want it to do. But guess what? They now said, no, we are going to give you a smart TV. Whereby, imagine where you didn't know that was a smart TV, you didn't know it can connect to the internet, and then they sold that television to you. The television has a remote control, and it also has internet, which means apart from using your remote control, you now have internet. So that internet is a delighter. Right? Now, the good thing about it is after a while, the delighter becomes normal for the customer. So a business person now needs to ask, what else can I do to impress my customer the more? Wow. So imagine we're after that stage now, you know, every television now has internet. Every television is now smart television. Then the next thing they will now ask is, what else can we do to delight Hero, who is my customer? The next thing they will do is to add, maybe if you wave your hand like that, the TV goes off. If you wave it this way, it comes on. If you do like that, it closes. So these are the things that when you now get it, you're like, oh, wow, LG is my best television. So those things that excite your customer, that is really what drives your business to grow. So that is what we call delighter. The question is, what else can I do that even if I don't do it, the customer will not complain? But what else can I do to excite, not just satisfy the customer, to excite the customer? It could be anything. Imagine you going to buy akara. Don't you know that sometimes you see one woman that is, many people around her, and then the other person selling the same akara, the same thing, the same akara bread, agege bread, whatever, but people are not going there. Why? People don't know that thing is the delighter. It could be just the way she mixes her pepper. It could be just the way she serves it. It could just be something like paper or nylon, whatever. Those extra things, that is what excites the customer to come back to you. It can happen at any level. Every business must look for a way to delight their customer.
Wow, I love it. I love it. It's all about innovation. Yes, Mr.
That's
Williams,
right.
It's all about innovation. It's all about doing the extra mile. It's all about putting your mind in it, because the only way you can innovate is when your mind is in it. When you're questioning, what else can we do to give us our unique selling point, to give us a leverage over others? When your mind is not in it, you cannot innovate. That's simple as it is. Thank you so much, Greg. So now there's a question I want you to address. Now, you yourself, you're an enthusiast. You are somebody that is always, you're a positive person. You are someone that is you're a big believer. You're someone that has big dreams. Anytime I come around you, you talk about big things you want to do. You are not even cautious about what if it doesn't work. Now, there are so many people who wants to go into business or already in business, but the reason why they cannot expand, why they cannot go beyond the level they are now, is that they are very scared. They are very, cautious. They don't want to lose money. They don't want to expand. They don't want to employ people they cannot be able to pay and all of that. So you yourself, it seems like it comes natural to you. How do you advise someone who is not of your kind of personality that wants to also do the things you're doing?
Yeah, I wouldn't advise anybody to do what I'm doing because for me, I go extra mile to study whatever thing I'm doing. Like I said, Hero, nobody has it all figured out. That is one thing everybody should take away from here today. Nobody has it all figured out. Everybody is doing what they are doing. Some people have made many, many mistakes. Just like everybody's going to, oh, it is AI generation. Everybody's going. Some people are like, no, hold up. AI is only a tool. AI is a tool, right? So if it is a tool, then it's going to help us solve problems. So AI is not a problem itself. AI is a tool. So let me quickly say this. For many people out there who are trying to do business and then they are like, okay, how can I start? What is the problem? What do I do? So the first step you need to do, like I said earlier, is to create an objective, right? And then let me now break it down. This may take me like 2-3 minutes to explain, Hero, if you can give me some time. So first of all is, where do I want to be? Right? Where do I want to be? Which is, what is the future of this business I'm going to do? In the next 5-10 years, when I joined Salad Master, here I've told you this thing before. I said I was going to do it for 10 years. And then after 10 years, I'm going to move on. I had to just create that opportunity for myself. I'm like, okay, I'm going to give myself a timeline. If I do not give myself a timeline, I may suffer in the future, right? So that is the very first thing. Number one thing you need to ask yourself, if you are listening to me today, you want to create a business. Number one thing is, where do I want to be in the next 4 years, in the next 5 years? Where is my business going to be? Number two is, what future does this business bring to me? Okay. And then that is now where you are able to now say, okay, the answer to that is that, you're talking about your vision. Where are we going? Where are we going as a business? You remember, like I said, when I joined Daystar told us to go and do our vision statement. You remember when I came to you, and then you and I sat down, right? You and I sat down and we created the PL Transform Vision Statement. Remember, to raise and transform independent leaders through to raise and transform independent leaders through our success programs, and to create an atmosphere that stimulates the champion in you to rise. It was Daystar that made us to do that. I created the vision statement, the mission statement, all of that, those values. They also told us to change our office, put emergency where in case there is any emergency, put, exit, all of those signs, just do it. Now, why is this important? As a business owner, you must create a vision. When you create a vision, because sometimes you need to understand that whatever you are creating has to be bigger than yourself. Yes. When you create a vision, the vision has to be bigger than. If you create a small vision, people will not see themselves playing a role in your business. For that reason, they won't even go far. They will leave you and go. The golden age of my business was when we created that vision hero. People were bringing ideas based on what our vision statement defined. Right? People were bringing many ideas. And now that even brought me to another story. I said I was going to talk to you guys about Sony. Many of you know about Sony industry, Sony, Sony television, Sony AC, Sony different things, speakers.
Yeah.
Now, the vision statement of Sony is one of the reasons why they are so successful today. And what is their vision statement? Their mission is to deliver groundbreaking new excitement and entertainment that only Sony can. Now, when they have this, when they created this vision statement, mission statement in 1994, 2 employees from Sony, they said they want to create a PlayStation. Sony was not even into games. They weren't even creating games. They said they're going to create a PlayStation that will compete with Nintendo. I think I remember Nintendo and Sega at that time. The first time they brought that proposal, remember, when you create a vision statement that is bigger than yourself, people that you are going on this journey with will even, sometimes you see people that are more passionate than yourself. For example, in our office, Absolute Robotics, we have one lady, her name is Annette. She's even much more enthusiastic than myself. She's pushing, she had to go quit her job. She's creating, doing everything by herself, simply because she has seen the vision. Those employees from Sony, they approached the management team. The management team said, no, this cannot be done. They sent them back in 1990. In 1994, they came back again saying the same thing, and then they gave them time. They gave them the opportunity to now try it. They created, that's where you have, I don't know how many of you that play games, you have the PlayStation, Sony PlayStation. Now, it was not Sony's original direction, but because of the fact that they want to create an excitement and entertainment that only Sony can, do you know that PlayStation is now more successful than every other product that Sony produces, including their TV, their computer, their phone, every other thing? Yeah. So your objective as a business person will always guide you, so that even when you have serious problems, you realize that you are still sustaining, because our objective, our vision, our mission is clear. Every member of the team understands that. Even when you're passing through difficult times, everybody also understands that. Then the second thing you must do also, Hero, before I go on, is define the problem. What is the problem I'm trying to solve? From the beginning, define a problem and then bring it down. The mistake some businesses also do is they try to focus on the symptom and not the problem itself. When I say the symptom and not the problem, so let's say for example, Hero, you are climbing a tree or you are climbing a hill, and then your responsibility is to climb that hill and then cross over to the other side and then carry on. When you get to when you go to the top of the hill, you could no longer move, and then you're like, wow, because of this valley here, I need to learn how to fly. You see, so you are creating a different direction other than the one you should have identified earlier. So all your resources now will now be focused on learn how to fly. Whether that's not your problem. So every entrepreneur, every business person must, as a matter of importance, must learn how to identify what the problem is. Your problem is not learning how to fly. So if you identify the wrong problem, guess what? You will use all your money. You are pushing all your money into learning how to fly, into all your resources into learning how to fly, instead of saying, what is the problem? The problem is that we want to move from here to the next place. Then the question then becomes, what is stopping us? There is a division here. There is a valley. Okay? The problem is the valley. The problem is not learning how to fly. The problem is the valley. And then if the valley is the problem, how can we create? Are we going to create a bridge to cross, or are we going to create a new path to walk? Right? So instead of you spending all your time learning how to create a new path, learn how to fly, you can easily go through another path. So identifying the problem is very, very important. And then the last one, Hero, sorry, I know I'm taking so much time, but the last one here, I mentioned this earlier as well. The last one is being able to collect information. As a business person, before you go into any business, or even as a business person now, you have a business that you are running, you must be able to collect information, collect data from every part of your business, every part. You must be able to dissect it. For me, I'm used to it. I do it intuitively. Now it's in my head, even though every member of my team also understands that. You need to ask yourself, how many presentations? Every Monday we do this now analysis. How many customers did we visit? How many sets did we sell? How many dinners were booked? Why did we have so many reschedules? What are the problems that we have? So now it is now part of my organization whereby we ask about this question every day. Then we now ask ourselves, oh, we made only 3 sales last week. What happened? Oh, we didn't make any sales last week. What happened? And then you tend to look into that one after the other. So there are 4 ways to do that. Number 1 is the value chain analysis. Every step in your business, you must analyze every step in your business. All right. You may now ask yourself, okay, why did this happen? What are the processes? What are the critical processes that we need to look at? What are the things that lead from one step to the next one? Do we waste so much time there? Is that where the problem is? If that's not the problem, let's move on to the next thing. How much does it cost us for this process to go through? Who is the person in charge of this process? What do we expect from this process? In terms of labor, in terms of finances, in terms of time, in terms of the results, general results. Okay? Then again, this very process that we are spending so much money on, what value does it bring to the business? And then the final thing you need to now ask yourself is, should we leave this process or we should eliminate it? If you understand your business from these 4 angles, being able to look into every part of your business, ask yourself, what time do people come to my shop if you run a business? What time do they come the most? Between 8 a.m. when I open my store till 10 p.m. Oh, sorry, till 5 p.m. What time? When is the busiest time that I have? Okay, if this is the case, those areas, those other times that are not busy times, what should I do with it? For example, some of the restaurants that I go to, one of them is called Rhapsody, the one in ShopRite. They know that every Tuesday, people don't tend to come to the bar to drink. Guess what they did? They started doing dancing class there. Every Tuesday they do dancing, every Wednesday they do karaoke. People can come and sing. There is no way you come and dance and not buy a drink. That is just simple business analysis, just value chain analysis. So also bring the same the same wisdom, bring it into your business, analyze your business that way. What are the free times that we have in our business? How can we choke things in there? How can we utilize the resources we are spending that are not as valuable as the 10 o'clock time? The 12 o'clock time is not as busy as 10 o'clock. So what else can we do for 12 o'clock to make sure that we maximize the resources and get the best result? So that is what every business must do. And you need this information. You need to collect the data. Everybody in your team must be able to give you this information. And if you are alone, you should be able to also collect this information. How can I allocate resources? How can I manage time in certain ways whereby I'm able to maximize results for my business? Back to you, Hero.
Wow, this is awesome. This is awesome. This is mind blowing, man. We have a lot to do tonight, but Mr. Greg, you are amazing. I want you to know that what we are doing here is to condense many years of experience in business school, executive business school, master class, compressing it in just a few hours. I want you to take notes, because I am taking notes. Your vision will determine how far you will go, will determine who will go with you. We have a lot of concepts we want to explain tonight, but we're going to have a part 2 of this class. Please, if you want us to have the part 2 of this class, please kindly go to the chat box and let me know, so that Mr. Greg can also be booked for a part 2, because we are here to talk about the lean management, which is the last thing you may touch on. We are here to talk about the Kazim law. So we are here to talk about the lead time, the holding cost. Then we're going to be talking about, for some of you here who wants to understand how money works, there's something I learned from Greg lately, and it has changed my life. He said there's what we call the holding cost and what we call the lead time. That money in your hands loses value over time. So he's going to be telling us how we can invest our money in a sure platform, not Ponzi scheme, by the way, things that will multiply your money, because the idea of financial freedom is that you don't need to be working to make money, all right? If you come to my office, there is a concept there. It's by Robert Kiyosaki. He said that all of us start from as an employee, right? We start as an employee, but you need to graduate to become self-employed, all right? From self-employed, you become business owner. Business owner is when you have a system and structure that is giving you money. You don't necessarily need to be there. Self-employed is when, if you're not there, you don't make money, all right? Then you now become an investor. So we're going to be talking about that in our second part of the class, and also some investment portfolio in Nigeria and how to multiply money. Now, Mr. Greg, before we round off for the night, please, now some people are scared, all right, of, doing business in Nigeria because some of uncertainties, the dollar rise and all of that. Some companies are leaving. Some people don't even want to think about business in that light because it causes the heart to panic, all right? So what would be your word for them? What would be your advice for some people who don't see opportunity in this part of the world? I have some of my friends that really want to come back and do business there, but they feel like Nigeria is unstable. A lot of things are not in place. So as someone who has been on the ground for many years, and you have done business, you have seen ups and downs in the business, what would be your advice for such people?
Oh yeah, I would say this: if you are outside of Nigeria, you want to do business in Nigeria, the opportunity is so large. I wouldn't lie to you. The opportunity is huge. And if you are even in Nigeria yourself, all you need to do is just take it up a little bit, right? Take it up a little bit. Let your standard be very high. Whatever business you intend to do in Nigeria, in fact, what makes business interesting is uncertainties, right? Uncertainties. If everybody knew what was going to happen tomorrow, people would just go and make decisions now. It is uncertainties, all right? VUCA, volatility. I mean, I don't want to go into that tech part, just for you to understand. Everybody who wants to invest in Nigeria, number one, the Nigerian economy has changed from free money to what? Skill-based economy. The Nigerian economy is now what? Skill-based economy. Don't think you're going to be, you should just go and laugh. Somebody will give you money. No. Because people now know that it is so tough to not make the money. So you must work for the money. So if you have interest in building any business in Nigeria, focus on being the best in that industry. Like I said, focus on delighting the customer and then increase your price. Don't be scared. One thing people are scared of in Nigeria today is, oh, am I going to make money out of it? Am I going to fail? No. You remember the escapade you and I passed through? I'm like, listen, guys, just take the price off. And when you take the price up, the price will cover any contingencies. If the dollar, like, let it go up and down, you will follow it as well because you are already making enough profit. I have some people who are into fashion industry and they are making 100% of their profits. That is not, you need to also understand. No, that's why I say you need to understand your industry. If you are in fashion, you should make at least 4 times the profit. All right? If you make your clothes for 20,000, you should be able to sell it for 80,000. That is the only way you can survive your business in Nigeria. So first of all, understand what is your, the industry where you are in. What is the profit margin that will sustain that industry? If you understand that in Nigeria, don't use, international standards to manage Nigerian business. No, that's why I told Hero because Hero is a dealer and my friend, just like he would have told you. And I'm like, guys, the best thing for us to do, this was since last year, even before the dollar got to 1,000. They were scared. Nah, if we put this thing up, people are not going to buy it. Then I said, guys, just calm down. So what I would say is increase the quality of service. Delight your customers. Charge premium for it. Make money. There is so much money to be made in Nigeria. If you are abroad, all you just need to do is to copy what is going on there, copy the standards, copy the systems, and bring it here and bring someone that is solid that will handle it for you. Look at it. Most companies in Nigeria, Chowdeck, Paystack, Glovo, all of these companies are already companies. If you look at them, they just go and mirror what is happening out there. So you don't have to do it at that level. You can also look at other systems that are already existing in where you are, bring it over here and then establish it, build it. Even if you want to open a superstore, you can put it up and then have highly skilled people to run it for you. Let the standard be high. Let customers be delighted whenever they come to your store. Whatever business you want to do, make sure you excite the customer and then charge premium for it. Nigerians are willing to pay. Just convince them. I sell a luxury product. If somebody can bring out 20 million to buy cooking pots, Nigerians can buy anything. But you just need to be able to convince them that this is the best one. And you truly sell quality things. Don't bring in cheap quality things that are not high quality. Sell quality stuff and then collect money for it. People will pay for it. That's what I would say to you.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Greg. It's been awesome having you around. Please, you are going to have, we have not covered this class. We have not really scratched it, right? But we have to pause it at this point. Please, if you have any question, I can only take 1 or 2 questions. Please, if you have a question, can you drop it on the chat box so I can just address it before we go? So please, I also encourage you, the next time you are coming on board, please don't come alone. Try to invite people. What we are having here is a masterclass. Believe me, if you have this information, going into business will be very for you. And you're definitely going to excel. So, Greg, before we take any question, do you have anything? Just give a hint on that lean management. That concept used to trigger me a lot. Just give us a little on it, just scratch it a bit before.
Oh yeah, so lean management was started in Japan, right? So if you look at it, if you compare American companies and Japanese companies, you realize that Japanese companies are always better most times in terms of quality. So lean management simply states that you have to cut away all fats. Any kind of business you are doing, the whole idea is, what can I do to do things better? What can I do to do things cheaper? And what can I do to do things faster? That's really the basic concept of lean management. How can I reduce the electricity that I use in my office to reduce costs? All right. How can I improve the speed at which I deliver my services or I produce my products? How can I make things efficiently? All right. So if you are able to do anything efficiently, that's what lean management is all about. That means you can now charge a cheaper price than your customers. So if you are able to produce anything at all that costs, anything about that brings waste, is against the lean management policy, right? If you have a staff that is not active or they're not producing the amount of results they should have they produce, they should be fired. That is what lean management is all about. There is no emotion about this stuff. Some of us are also doing businesses and then there is emotion to it. There shouldn't be any emotion to it, all right? So lean management is all about how can we reduce and remove any form of waste, okay? How can we remove, and this is not once. You have to continue Continuously analyze your business. How can we reduce waste? How can we reduce waste? How can we reduce waste? That's what lean management is all about. In my organization, you need to, in your organization, for example, what time do people resume? Are they doing the right thing they're supposed to do? If the person does not come on time, what does it cost the business? At the very minute level, always find a way to go lean. Everybody that goes on, when they go, what kind of water, what's the quantity of water they use to flush toilets? That is lean management. What level of electricity do they burn? How many hours does the AC go on when they are at the office? Does it increase our NEPA bill or not? At this time, when we are charging 250 per kilowatt. Okay, so lean management is all about how can we reduce any excess spend. Okay, it's all about reducing costs. It's all about reducing any excesses. It's all about streamlining the cost of production or the cost of running your business. That is lean management.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Greg. Thank you so much. I know you're a busy man. To squeeze out 1 hour for this it means a lot to us and all to the tribe. All right. So thank you so much, guys, for being on this call. So I'm going to allow Greg to say a final word before we call it a night. Meanwhile, we're going to be having the part 2. Many people say they want part 2. I hope so you're willing to come on board again. So we can finish off this.
Absolutely.
A matter of fact, it's something we need to be doing regularly to expose people to more information and empower people to take charge of their financial destiny. So let's take a last word for you before we go for tonight.
Yeah, so the last word I would say is this, yeah. For everyone listening to me today, I want you to just let it flow, let the river flow, right? Let the river flow. Go ahead and take the risk. Now, don't take a risk that will now destroy you for life. No. Take a risk that you can come back from, but don't be shy if you fail. Don't feel bad if you fail. Take the risk and then learn how to communicate to people what you intend to achieve. Some people have big dreams and they have the capacity to deliver the dream, but they don't have the right, they may have the right people around them, but they don't have the right words. So please, 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 everyone, I will tell you this, take the risk. Learn how to talk to people. Learn how to lead people to achieve your goal. That is one skill you have to learn. Learn how to take people, lead them on to achieve your goal. That's what I will give to you today. Thank you, Hero. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. So, guys, on this note, we're going to be calling it a night. Please, if you're not in our tribe, please chat me up and take the link and be in our platform. This is a platform where we mentor people, give them books to read, give them expo to life. And you see, learning from other people helps you to stand on the shoulder of a giant and rise further. Please, if you're not in that group, please make sure you're there. And we're going to get you the recording of this thing. Please listen to it again and then again. You know, most times we make effort to put this together. Please don't take it for granted. This is a master class people pay a lot of money to attend. Believe you me, what you have learned here today, if you apply it, your life is going to change. All right. So thank you so much for being on the call today. Thank you so much, Greg, once again. Thank you. We really appreciate your coming on board. Thank you. On this note, we're going to be calling it a night, and let's have a wonderful night rest. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
All right.
Thank you, sir.